Hello, Collab You Now. I'm Jacob, the new guy. I will do an intro video at some point. I did not know I was supposed to do one, and Brandon told me when we were on Skype just about 2 minutes ago. He's still on Skype, he's just muted. So I'll do that later. I'm sorry I didn't know, but this video is going to be on music. Now, because the only connections I have with music are listening to it and the fact that I used to play instruments, and because I used to play instruments and don't anymore, it's not really relevant. So I'm going to talk about Warped Tour and the stories of that for me, my experiences. Not all of them, just a few, obviously. First story I'm going to tell you is my first Warped Tour in 2011, which was my first time crowd surfing. It was at I don't know what concert it was, I forget, but Asking Alexandria probably. And I had my backpack on, and somebody took it off, and I was like, what? And they were like, hold this, and they gave it to my friend. And I was like, what? And they were like, ready? And I was like, what? They're like, 3, 2, 1, and they shot me in the air, and I was like 4'10" at this time. Like, I grew like 8 inches over like a summer, so not a normal height, but I wasn't then. So they like chucked me into the crowd, and I was scared out of my mind. But then it was fun after I didn't fall or break my neck. And I sort of went nearly to the front, and then I was escorted away, where my friend met me about 15 minutes later when I got my way through the crowd to my backpack again, which had my wallet, so I was kind of nervous about that. Anyway, on to the next story, the face punch. I was in a mosh pit, and this dude, like, everybody was just running around, like, punching each other, and then all of a sudden, I see everybody clearing out. I'm like, what's going on? And I turn around, and there's this huge dude, and he goes, and I got punched in the face and dislocated my jaw. And I didn't feel that until the next day. Adrenaline rush. Anyway, so that was interesting. Yes, yeah, that's the face punch story in its entirety. The next one, let's see. Oh yes, I think that's really all the excitement from that year. But the 2012 one, which was this year in July, I snuck into a few of the areas that were closed off. It's very easy to do. But the thing was, once I snuck in, instead of going to the concert, I was just helping other people sneak in. Like, I was talking to people, like the owner, and just distracting while, like, 50 guys just went like this Robin Hood line, just running in to the All-Time Low concert, even though it was closed off. And then the huge manager came out and was like, hey, they started, like, collecting everybody up. He's like, you need to go. And I was like, no. And I just sat there, and he didn't do anything. He just kind of ignored me. And people were like, didn't you get kicked out like 7 times? I was like, yeah, but I just kept sitting, and he didn't notice. And that's basically that. And eventually everybody snuck in, and we just sort of like opened the gates, and everybody just flooded in. It was fine. Let's see. Next one. I have a little notepad here for my notes, because I don't really remember all the stories. And the next one, when I was actually leaving my first Warped Tour, this is the last part of 2011 Warped Tour, I got lost walking home, and I accidentally walked through where all the trailers were parked, and I was like, whoa, and like every band I'd ever heard of was just lined up in trailers, and I could see all of them. I was just kind of like shuffling through the middle while there were just rows of trailers next to me, and I don't know, I think it was from Of Mice and Men, or somebody came up to me and was like, hey, are you lost? And I was like, yeah, how'd you notice? And they're like, yeah, you'll find your way home. And then I just kept walking, and eventually I got home. But I'm scared of the dark, and it was like midnight, so that was terrifying. Oh, back to 2012, I was leaving a concert area, and I got hit in the face with a drumstick, because the next band had come on, and they hit me in the face with a drumstick. I think it was the Ready set. Not sure though. And I hit in the face with the drumstick, and I was like, what the hell? And it like dropped to the ground, and all these people were trying to get it, and I like picked it up, and I was like, what the hell? And I threw it back at the guy, and he like ducked, and I guess I just sort of left. And my friends later yelled at me because they said I could have sold it, but I don't really care, because I was mad at the time, because I had gotten hit in the face with a drumstick. And then the last story, well, it's not really a story, it's a hope, is I'm going to make some staff t-shirts for the place where Warped Tour is held every year in my town. I'm not going to tell you where, because that's creepy. But we're going to make the staff t-shirts, and we're just going to have, like, trash bags, and we're just going to walk in with, like full trash bags and be like, hey, let's think that we're doing a trash run, but we're actually sneaking in. So that should be good. I'll tell you how that works out in 1 year's time. I just checked my watch, by the way. I just didn't look down at my knee. So that's my stories. I will do an intro later. Goodbye.